Today we're going to be discussing photography as an art. Yes, you heard me right. Photography as an art. So many things are beginning to change in the world of hustle. Let me just put it that way. When you talk about crafts, how people make things, and of course the art of photography is beginning to change. It's not the regular, just being on the street and doing your 5-minute wait and get passport like we used to have it. Things are changing, the gadgets are changing, styles are beginning to change, and people are moving into deeper styles of photography. To delve into this topic with me today is the one and only Leonard Ikebuda. Did I get it?
No, Ikeduba.
Who is a wedding photographer. Thanks so much, and you do documentaries as well.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much.
We really do appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, you look wonderful. You look handsome. I mean, you look fresh. The world of photography certainly is paying off. How's it been?
Yeah, it's paying off definitely, and then I'm grateful to God. Yeah. So photography is fantastic, and it's been well with me.
All right,
so
great,
well
interesting. Now tell us. Let's start with the importance of photography. Some people just think that anybody can grab their cameras and just do what you do. But tell us the importance, because we want to start from, let's just dig from right there. What is the importance of photography, or having like a proper photographer at an event, or do your documentary, or do that professional thing like you do?
Yeah.
What's the difference between? We'll get to the difference between you and other people who can't.
Okay, so truthfully, anybody can grab a camera and shoot.
Okay.
That's the basic truth. But not everybody could construct a storytelling image.
I like that. Construct a storytelling
Yeah.
image.
So to us artists, visual artists, which are often called photographers or cameramen.
Okay, so it's not, instead of cameraman, you can call it visual
artist. So I pride myself to be a visual artist.
Why don't you like photographer?
Okay, yeah. So it's not local. No, I won't say belittles the profession. Okay. So everybody everybody, as long as you have a camera with you, you're a photographer. As long as he has a camera with him, he's a photographer. So anybody, if you go to weddings, okay, I want to mention a particular place. Go to Ibadan. Okay. Go to weddings in Ibadan. So as we are seated here, since I entered this place, we would have you would have just taken pictures of us, go to the lab, print those pictures. I'm not talking about 5x7. I mean in large format. Print those pictures, and you have them immediately. But the difference is when you now see those pictures and you look at yourself. You will be shocked that am I this one? So I saw one fight happen one day, and the woman had to bring out her phone, snap herself, and show the guy, look at this picture and look at this one. Are they the same? So, but they are still photographers, but they can't call themselves visual artists.
So what's the difference between a photographer
and a visual artist?
Cameraman.
Okay, and a visual artist.
There are three now. So we have
So I made an example for someone one day, and I asked the person, there are unknown gunmen.
Okay.
There are security personnel and there are criminals. Okay. The three of them uses guns. Okay. But you can't call all of them gunmen. So you can't generalize us and call us cameramen because we have cameras in our hand. So there are security personnel that are licensed to hold those firearms. Okay. But you can't just come and call them gunmen. You understand? So for photographers and visual artists and cameramen, I think that cameraman is just a local name to generalize everybody that has a camera with them.
Why did you decide, or what is that conviction that you had in your mind that you thought that, let me go for photography, not being an artist, not catering, not being a lawyer, not a teacher, not a fashion designer? Why do you think, or did photography choose you? Some people choose,
Okay, so it's going to be a bit long. So
go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay. So I was in primary 3 when I did a drama. So and then that drama awarded me a scholarship to go through my primary school.
For real? From a drama?
For just a drama.
Wait.
So
I want to understand.
I acted in drama. No, okay.
You know why I'm asking? Because when I was in primary school, I used to act in drama. In fact, I did French dramas. But me, I didn't get you got a scholarship for your primary education.
So
because of your drama.
Let me explain. So I played the role so well that till date I still bear the name in my village whenever I travel. Americana. Okay. So they gave me the scholarship. So from then I just made up my mind that I was going to be a movie star. My dad said not in his house.
What did he want you to become?
He said he wanted me to become a doctor. Like, yeah, we want to have a doctor in our house, you know. So, well, for throughout my primary school and secondary school, we had that issues throughout. Like, anytime I mentioned I want to be an artist, it caused fight, like serious fight. Wow. And he would tell me that I will withdraw your school fees and then you go back to the street and just go and stay there, since that's what you want to become. He said.
Sorry to cut, but doesn't not remember how your acting skills got you free education?
He doesn't care. Well, also, so he had this mentality that actors have the privilege to be wayward.
Okay.
They will start sleeping with producer's wife, people's wife, because they appear handsome and the rest of the thing, and then that gets them killed easily. Okay. So I told him that because there is a trend in an industry, doesn't mean that it affects everybody. There are certain people who are different. He said he doesn't want. You know, so, but as time goes on, when I finally wanted to enter the higher institution, I went to Auchi Polytechnic. Shout out to myself. So, I like that. So I had to now deviate. I started mass communication. So at some point, I wanted to really do medicine just to please him. But I now found out, like, man, it's not easy. It's not easy, guy. It wasn't easy at all. So I just said, let me do mass comm. So somebody really told me about mass communication, and I looked through it, and it was an amazing course. So I went for mass communication, finished my OND, I got back to Lagos. So I started going for auditions. I really wanted to act. Yeah, you know. So, but you know, maybe it's because my dad has said there's no future there. So every audition, you did really well. Don't worry, we'll get back to you. Until date. You know, so I record monologues. I do a lot of self audition for myself. Really? Post it online, send it to people. No show. No show.
So since you got to Lagos, you've not had any opportunity to.
None.
Don't worry, I'll try and get you.
My G.
I'll try and get you.
Thank you. Go ahead. So an opportunity now came. This Redeem, what do they call this thing? Skills stuff that they were, so skill acquisition program. So an opportunity came. It was on the island. So my pastor, very amazing man, he said he wants me to go for that. So, because after graduation, I was waiting. I've had this plan not to work in any organization. Like I do not have that kind of. It hasn't been my aspiration.
You want to pay you $1 million to work with me? You know?
I won't do it because I can make that $1 million in a month. You know, right?
The Leonard, you can make $1 million
in a month.
In a month.
Yes.
From photography.
Of course.
All right, when you finish,
we'll come to that. Of course, we're coming. So, after a while, after graduation, that was 2017, nothing, no job. I was seeing some ridiculous offers. So my pastor said I should go for that skill acquisition program, that at least if I could learn video editing, so I wouldn't have to pay people to shoot videos for me. I could start skit. And skit wasn't this prominent then. So I said, okay, that's a nice idea. So I went. We got there, they said the person that was taking us video editing was not around. That he traveled. I was sad. Like, that's the sound. I was sad. So one of the facilitators now advised me that I should go for photography. At least there's something called director of photography. That if I do that too, I could still act, I could still navigate my way into the industry. I said, okay. So I went for the class the first day, and there's this guy, fantastic guy, David Dosumu. He was the facilitator that day. Like, I saw photography in a different light. So my perspective of photography before has been this wretched guys, you know, those guys that carry those small point and shoot, and they lie on the floor and then they fire you shots, you know.
And after they shoot,
So I saw images that was constructively made. They were not snapped, they were made. They were images made. Like, I was shocked. So I started asking him, like, how did you make these pictures? So he started explaining. So he taught us a lot that day, and then he promised us that the following day he was not going to come, but he would send somebody. Then he sent the person that came that day. I loved the guy more. His teachings were so clear and clean. Like, I understood photography, and I saw photography as a business.
I have another professional join us here today in the studio. The studio is full of professional, and you know how we young people say, bad guys. Yeah. I'm still DJ Mercury. You do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. If you're on right now, just throw in a question and then we'll get back to you. Also on our phone line, 09087643339 is the number to call. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, my very, very good friend, Frederick Judge.
Do you have the cash? Do you have the funding to take you to get $1 million a month?
Okay, now in terms of funding, what do you mean?
In terms of funding, is number one, you have to have a badass studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
One.
Okay.
Your gear has to be
top notch.
then your network has to be off the chisel.
So that when you have this, it's possible to make.
Possible.
All right.
Now,
Okay.
but as it is said in our creative industry, which you know, it is not the gear that makes
I was gonna ask that.
it is
The man behind the gear.
But aren't you contradicting yourself now if you say that you have to have the gear to enable you to be able to make that 1 million a month? But now you are saying that it's not about the gear.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
You're going to, let's say, Imo State.
Okay.
Okay. You're a creative person. Very, very highly rated. Now, you are to have a choice in boarding a Sienna
Okay.
and a big luxury bus.
Okay.
Which one will you take?
It depends on the journey.
8 hours journey.
Okay.
And you need to get there on time.
Okay.
Which of the vehicles will you take?
Sienna.
So, what does it mean? Does it say that you are not good enough, or the Marco Polo is not good enough? The Marco Polo cannot take you to that journey in a short time,
Okay.
but the Sienna can do that.
Okay.
So, when you have a very good gear, the gear can help you get to that peak in a very short time.
There are 3 components that make pictures from the camera. So number 1 is the shutter speed, the aperture, and the ISO. And thank God for these entry-level cameras. They make it so easy to understand. So this is the shutter speed, which is 1/250 right now, and this is aperture f8. It's synonymous to f-stop. So if you hear anybody say f-stop, they mean aperture. Then this is the ISO. So it's just like if when I'm teaching, I just tell them that this is the salt, Maggi, and pepper of picture. Yeah, I just try to make it very easy. So you can choose your Maggi, you can choose your salt between the 3 of them. So this is responsible for speed.
Which one?
The shutter speed, like the name implies, shutter speed is responsible for speed, how fast or slow the camera opens and then close to capture image. So if I'm shooting a very speedy event like sport or something, I should be shooting at a very high speed, like from 250, 300 and the rest, so that I could freeze the motion quickly.
Okay, that's why you have pictures where if it's in a sports event where you can capture the person. Like
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
So
Have
a high speed will help you maintain that sharp image. So it's also responsible for sharp images. So it's very crispy, sharp, and then smart image.
Right,
So
let me just show something on ISO quickly. What's the essence of having ISO? What does it do?
ISO is light.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
Now it's let me explain how which okay, fine. You let me use his own terminology. You have a very wonderful soup. You're cooking the soup. You're making the soup. Now you've done everything that you need to do for that soup to be ready, but you've forgotten one very important thing, and that is what? Salt.
Yeah.
So salt brings out the taste of everything that you have put. The salt adds life.
Okay.
So what ISO does for your image is it boosts the light.
Yeah.
It makes it brighter. It makes it sharper. It makes it clearer for you to see. So you can have all your shutter speed and
Aperture, everything.
Once your ISO is below where it's supposed to be, once you take the picture, it's still dark.
I wish we could just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
There's one question I would love to ask you people, and it's very deep. All right, now, so I've heard photographers who do nude photography. Hey, today, please sit down.
There's no door. The door has been locked.
I know why I call photography to the building today, so that we can ask them, because I want to know how it's doing you, that you will hold your photographer, you don't see a fine girl, and you will move, please. Yes, come on. Who will I start from?
No, start with Frederick. Frederick has a better experience.
Frederick, you don't have any experience with girls or men. He's still okay, quick. Our time is fast.
Quick.
What's your experience on nude photography? Because
Okay.
And how did you control?
No, see,
Okay.
when you're doing nude photography, you need to put yourself in the plane where are you shooting for pleasure or you're shooting for professional sake. So once you're doing your job, come on, you throw it away. Hello.
Is it possible? You just forget
come on,
it.
it is. Do you know how many?
So have you done it
Do you
before?
know how many naked I've seen?
Have you done it? No, wait. Have you done it before?
Well, I've shot with somebody that has done it. And
Oh, okay. You are assisting.
yeah,
Let me come to
the camera.
let me come to you now. Knowing the fact that this is something very different, it's not something you get every day. It's not the kind of photography you get every day.
Yeah.
Do you charge extra for nude photography?
Yes.
Yes,
You charge extra?
Yes, I do.
Why do you charge extra?
Okay.
I mean, I know that it's different, but why do you charge extra? Is it because of the temptations that you face?
Okay, yeah, apart from the temptation,
You're actually snapping the person, so...
Yeah, but nude photography is one of the most creative part of photography because if the light is not balanced, it's just regular.
And very difficult.
And very
You just
difficult
said
too.
The light is not balanced.
Like once the light is not balanced, it's just like a regular flat image. So what draws people attention to nude is not the fact that they open their body. It's the constructive image that you make for people. Like if you check every great nude images, you must see that the lights are different. You see that some parts are dark, some parts are lit, some parts are well exposed, sometimes parts are underexposed. So, but that's one of the reasons people charge. And then the second part is discomfort.
Okay. What do you mean discomfort?
More.
What do you mean discomfort? Explain discomfort.
Let's
ask a couple of questions now. Have you done it before?
Yes, I have.
You've done it before.
Yes.
So what's your experience? And tell us the discomfort.
Okay, so my experience was
so scratching on
the first one I did was a plain nude, and then it was really like intense because it was intense because but I had to be in my space.
What do you mean in your space?
Like in my space where I can control myself. You know, because the only thing that was ringing in my head is that you just start, you never start. If you do nonsense today, they carry your entire Insta blog. This career where you never even do foundation for, they don't bring a coda. So that thing was ringing in my head, and that helped me. See, I won't say that I'm 100% strong, but when that phrase of mind kept me on check. Even at the end of the day, yeah, on a normal day, if it was a normal ground that it wasn't on the basis of professionalism, I would have said, oh, hi, can we exchange contact? But brother, I respected myself. But I had to keep myself in check.
After you collected money,
we'll collect number now, just for further this thing now.
Your final word for budding photographers out there, people who are thinking of going into photography, people who love it, and just general final words.
Okay, let me start by saying, number one, you have to love what you do. You have to love it. If you don't have passion for it, you cannot go a step further. Then for photography, you have to pay attention to one thing. Apart from the gear, apart from your skill, light. Light is very important. If your lighting is bad, whatever you're shooting, even if you have even if the camera gear is from God, once the lighting is bad, the camera.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your final words?
Yeah, okay. The truth is, photography is evolving. It's one of the most evolving industry I've seen so far. Like, it evolves every year, gears are changing.
Sorry, before you, I think we'll have a call quickly. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Folabi. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Okay, Folabi from Ikeja, please go ahead with your questions or comments, please.
Please, I just want to say something. Please, can we just advise employers that because they hire a photographer does not mean the photographer does not have a specialty. Because they will hire a photographer, expect the photographer to do dodo photography, sport photography, street photography, you know. These areas are specialties for different people. So one photographer cannot do every single one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very, very important. Just go ahead with that. Let's answer that question in case someone wants to learn.
Okay.
He's talking about employers who employ a photographer and they expect the person to do all kinds of photography. Meanwhile, this guy has probably gone to school or to learn a certain type of photography. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I think it's the way you position yourself first.
Okay.
If nobody can hire me to come do product.
Okay.
Because I do not display myself as a product photographer. The moment you reach out to me, I will tell you there and there, I do not do product, man, but I could refer someone for you.
Okay. So what you're saying is if you can't do everything,
yeah,
tell the person what you do.
But for beginning, I will advise you do everything.
Okay.
Learn everything. So you can now narrow your niche down as you grow. But for beginners, it's good to really know everything. Do everything. Do product, do animal,
all right,
do
thank
everything.
You so much, Leonard. I wish we could take more of the comments, but certainly we must have a part 2 of this, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
say yes, say
Sure,
yes.
sure,
All right,
sure.
thank you so
I'm
much,
open to
guys.
it.
We've learned a lot from ISO, aperture, shutter speed, and as is mentioned, you know, always use your light, and also he mentioned do everything when you're just beginning. We've discussed photography as an art. I'm Deji Mercury. Thanks so much for joining us. When you grab a camera, learn from the proper source. I look forward to a day when the power of love will supersede the love of power. I love you, share the love, and just make the world a better place. Bye-bye.
Thank you.